The fuck is Knuckles doing? This wasn't supposed to be the next video, but I thought why not give you lot something while I take more time on the next. When the Shadow release for P06 was all we had, I never got into modding it. I think I tried it once and it just failed, so I never attempted it again. But after the Silver release has restarted the spark in me, I got into it and a new world has opened up. Sonic 06's stage design genuinely always felt like an open world at times, with White Acropolis being a giant playground to do whatever the fuck you want, like killing yourself. When it comes to the stages, there isn't a single one I dislike. It's just a matter of which ones are more replayable to me, and because each campaign plays so differently, each character has a version of one stage that is playable for someone else, but ends up being more replayable than that someone else, if you know what I mean. I'll always choose Sonic's Radical Train for the Mach Speed section at the end. Silver's Kingdom Valley to me for some reason is the most fun to go back to out of the three, and the satisfaction of Shadow's Flame Core is unbeatable because of his Chaos Boost.
Yes, more, give me more, everything must die!
Those are just a few examples, but the big issue is the amount of recycling layouts there are. Sonic, Tails, and Blaze basically have the same exact Wave Ocean layout with some minor changes to make it possible for them to get through their version. Same with Sonic and Shadow's Crisis City, the only difference is the end section, so it's literally all down to which character you want to play, instead of which stage in that case. And if it was the original, it just depended on if you felt like self-harming that day, and which type of torment that you choose. Crisis City's Mach Speed section has some unforgiving PTSD. Shadow's driving may as well have been a PSA on driving safety. If you don't drive safely, kids,
that is what happens.
I've always loved playing Sonic's Crisis City, but missing out on the first section because you're bound to a snowboard is honestly jarring sometimes, and the modding community may as well call themselves the Make-A-Wish Foundation for games, because when it comes to Sonic, they always just do things right. I'll always say, fans usually make things so much better than the actual game developers because they know what they're doing. You can do the whole Sega hire this man meme, but if Sega hired more people that make these amazing mods and fan games, maybe Sonic would genuinely just be a lot more consistent. A mod that has recently been getting a big spotlight is the sole reason I decided to finally pull my finger out and just get it sorted. The character selection mod is a game changer. At any point, in any stage, you can switch to any of the 9 characters that the game has, meaning you could play a whole Sonic stage as Blaze, who I think is one of the best playstyles in Sonic. There's a few simple differences, but unique enough that it's like a nice experiment. And now that Silver is up there is actually fun, I'm happy to play and mess around with him on an area meant for someone else. I can finally understand why this geezer wouldn't stop commenting how if Silver and Blaze weren't playable in Frontiers, they wouldn't buy it. I know it's a joke, but I still have desire to play as these two again, hopefully in a unique way, because if it was the boosting gameplay, I wouldn't be surprised if they played exactly like Sonic. I also like the teamwork element, because you can switch to any character whenever you want without any issues. Well, I mean, with some exceptions. Yeah, it's no surprise that this thing has broken a few times. Sometimes it's from me switching to another character while there's a cinematic camera angle going on. I need Jesus right now. Or it might be because you're playing a section as a character that wasn't made for it. Well, it really is a faithful remaster, it's just like the original. Or sometimes Tails just thinks he's the star of the show and refuses to fuck off out of my way. Dickhead. You might be in a situation where one character can't get to a certain point, so you can just easily take advantage of Tails' flight. And to be honest, he's actually the only character where that is useful, because he's the only one who can fly upwards. So yeah, playing every stage as anyone just opens the game up, and it just turns it into a playground to mess around in. The test stage is useful for learning how each character plays, and because Amy, wait, she's still going? No longer plays like how old people fuck. I don't feel weird in wishing that she had more playable parts in the game. Now she does. There are still some limits. Knuckles and Rouge are only able to climb walls that they're programmed to, but in the state of the original, I'm surprised they could fucking climb anything. Or even let go. I think I'm slowly developing mental aids. But the best part of modding is when you can completely break the game into something where you can just dick around. And luckily, this character swap thing is a 2-in-1. You can toggle a cheat that gives you permanent 100 rings, as well as making it so that Sonic, Shadow's, and Silver's power meters never go down or run out. And now the game isn't just a playground, but may as well be the open zone Sonic game. Silver can teleport, dash, and just fly around sightseeing. Even Super Sonic can fly now. You can have Shadow at full power constantly, and you would think doing this over and over again would be old, but with these sound effects, visuals, and speed, I don't think it ever will be. Aquatic Base is one of my favorite stages to ever exist, but this Silver Bull section is jarring, which now means nothing to me because I can just fly past it. Obviously, being an invincible demigod Terminator can get dry, but I appreciate this being part of the character swap mod because the amount of experimentation you can do, see which characters can do the same thing as someone else, and which ones clearly cannot. 06's way of handling multiple playable characters was always one one of its best features, because even if you don't like the other characters, you don't have to play as them for too long. They show up in a section to help the main character move on, even though now you realize you didn't need fucking Omega to open that switch. You could just do the whole thing as Shadow. Using Supersonic's flight to bypass almost all of Shadow's glider sections is so much more useful. It's like how Sonic Frontiers lets you sit there with your thumb up your ass to fish, which can bypass the whole game. What the fuck is going on? Meaning you can do that here if there's a part of a stage you want to make better for yourself. Nothing is stopping you. Amy has now transcended our mortal realm. And that's only one mod that I've loved enough to want to make a video about. The other is the Sonic Unleashed mod. I saw this and I thought it was nothing more than a remodel for Sonic, but I never would have guessed someone made a full-on boosting gameplay mod for a game that was made for Sonic's paint drying speeds. It barely works, but it's just dumb fun. Even better because you can still bounce and spin dash, so it's not busted. This is the best way to increase your speed for now when playing as Sonic. With 06's stage layout, it's difficult to increase speed without breaking the game, and I think it's best that the speed cap is left unchanged for the remaster stages, but if someone can make a mod that increases everyone's natural running speed, then it could also make a lot of the modded stages way more fun. Because even though these stages are a lot bigger and made for a faster Sonic, they still have 06's curse, where if you go through a trick ring or hit a spring, you'll be married with 10 kids by the time you land. You can do Windmill Isle from Unleashed like this, or just basically play Sonic Unleashed. P06 is a game where modding isn't even needed to make the game a million times more replayable. Look at that fucking Frontiers. Now how the fuck has this happened? But it still can, and I believe there could be a bright future of insane possibilities for what comes next. I also definitely wasn't expecting to see Rouge here. Hey, wait, hold on. But anyway, it's a quick short video, but that's all that needs to be said. But if any other really cool mods come out, I may or may not cover it. I don't know. I don't make promises. But that's all for now. Leave a like, subscribe. I love you unless you're a child molester, and cheers, lads. Until the next time, have a good one.